Всем привет! С вами КАКТУСМАСЯ, и мы продолжаем проходить Хогвартс Экспресс, Хогвартс Наследие. Что нам надо сделать? Найти гостиную. Я в Пуффендуйка. Ну, это, так поняла, это комнаты. О, я могу в любую зайти. Мне бы так свою комнату найти, блин, если мне надо будет. Если могу во все зайти. Но мне чужие комнаты не нужны. Так мне самой интересно, откуда она. Магл, который внезапно стала волшебницей.
Is that your owl? I don't know who she is. Likely one of the Hufflepuffs around here. Owls choose their own company anyway. Wait, you're the new 5th year. Quite the dramatic entrance you made. Can't imagine wanting to call attention to yourself, especially since everyone will be watching to see how much you already know. I am a bit concerned. I have a lot of catching up to do. Indeed. 4 years of schoolwork is a bit... being that far behind. I'd feel so... inadequate. Of course, presumably, as a hard-working Hufflepuff, you'll prove yourself in no time.
Просто, блин, я не знаю, раскрыли бы хоть какое-то немножко прошлое, не знаю, может потом раскроют, не знаю.
I've rather a searing wit. At least people have always told
Ну, я,
me
да,
so.
я заметила, ты меня оскорбила ужасно.
Well, mustn't keep you. You've such a lot to do. Do you really think you should have been in Ravenclaw? Well, my brothers were. They both work in the ministry now. I suppose you could say that wit runs in the family. My aunt was a Gryffindor, though, and I've always had plenty in common with her. Determination, valor, daring. The old sorting hat was spoiled for choice with me. It was nice meeting you, Lenora. Of course. Adieu.
Просто, блин, ну как-то немножко странно, да, что, блин, как откуда-то не возьмись какая-то девочка, ты сразу на 5-й курс зачислена. Кто она, откуда она взялась, блин, кем она была раньше, то ли в другой школе училась она, не может же быть она, блин, маглом, и потом все это время обычным человеком, и тут откуда ни возьмись, у него магия проснулась. Артур, Ламели. Артур. Кошка.
Hope they can catch him. Big castle for a student to get lost in, let alone a cat. I'm sure you'll find your way all right. I mean, it can be a bit overwhelming at first. I still get lost sometimes. Welcome to Hufflepuff, by the way. Really glad to have you in our house. I'm Arthur.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Was that your cat?
No, one of the first years, I think. Don't have any pets of my own, unfortunately. My mother doesn't think too highly of them, especially magical ones.
Бля, я хочу тоже какого-нибудь питомца. Почему мне не дали возможность?
I'm sorry to hear that. I think magical beasts are rather incredible.
Best thing about coming to Hogwarts. Nifflers, glumbumbles, bowtruckles. I thought they were only
Я хочу
pictures in
пушистую
books
сову.
before. Well, Dad did bring home a puffskein once. Mum was furious. Anyway, I better go make sure the first years caught that cat. Don't want them to be late on their first day.
Have you ever had a pet, Arthur?
No. My mother's a muggle, and as soon as the puffskein that my dad brought home stuck its tongue up her nose, it went right back to the shop.
Nice meeting you, Arthur, and good luck finding that cat.
Thank you.
Артур очень добрый, милый такой, дружелюбный такой, доброжелательный парень. Мне он нравится. Первая девушка не очень, она как-то, блин, вообще Аделаида.
Oh, Uncle, this doesn't sound like you. Something's wrong. Oh, hello there. You're the new Hufflepuff, yes? I'm Adelaide. Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Is everything all right?
Oh, yes. I'm just a bit distracted. Letter from my uncle. So tell me, I've been hearing all sorts of rumors. Were you really nearly gobbled up by a dragon?
That one is true. Not the typical start to a new school.
That's dreadful. Well, I'm glad you made it here alive. Well, anyway, I imagine you have lots to do. I hope you have a wonderful first day.
Спасибо.
Are you sure everything is all right with your uncle?
Oh, yes, he travels for work, always busy. I'm sure he just wrote it in a rush. Nothing to worry about.
Thank you, Adelaide. Be seeing you.
Of course, and good luck.
Ну, вроде все дружелюбные, кроме вот с профессором Уизли. О, призрак! Здравствуйте!
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success.
Книжка.
Here you are.
Что это?
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Ну ладно, как
Thank
мне
you,
ее вызвать?
Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test.
Так, нет, это меню, я хочу... Ладно, потом, наверное, скажу, как ее вызывать, эту книгу, да?
This way.
Ну, я просто хотела книжку вызвать, посмотреть, что там как. Но мне пока это не
The
хотят.
guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. I certainly would have appreciated something like a field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. Do keep up! Simply cast Revelio on it, and we'll see what the guide says.
Ревелио?
Revelio.
Книга рецептов домовых эльфов. Страница руководства. Коллекция любимых рецептов студентов Хогвартса, которые собрались на протяжении веков. Некоторые блюда, такие как маринованные сливы, цеплелины, скорее всего, имеют очень необычный вкус. По слухам, в ней хранятся некоторые оригинальные творения самой Пенелопы Пуффендуй. Вы только что открыли испытание руководства. Ваш прогресс будет отображаться здесь. Выполнение испытания из руководства – это единственный способ выполнить очки опыта. Уровень волшебства. Испытание. Страница руководства. Каждое испытание имеет несколько уровней. Каждый из них ждут специальные награды Начинаешь с внешнего вида. Да подождите. Награды можно получить в меню испытаний. Ну ладно.
Clever, isn't it?
Я хотела просто посмотреть, что за испытания мне даются. Бой пока мне не даются, да, пока так. Это что у нас? Соберите страницы руководства. Ага. Страницы, там еще что-нибудь скажут собрать. Потом какие-то бои, задания, исследования, выручек. Что-то там еще появится. Так, инвентарь. Что у меня в этом? Коллекция. Это все карточки. А, вот эти все руководства всякие разные. Враги, которых вы столкнулись, тут будут собираться. Так, страница ревелио. Это что у нас? Книга рецептов. Ну, короче, тоже коллекционка какая-то, да? Задание. Ну, тут всякие задания будут требоваться. Появляться, ладно.
Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
Понятно. Бросить кубик. Единорог это что значит?
Ah, good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Хогвартс разделен на две основные области. В левой части карты живут студенты и профессора. Здесь расположены гостиные и большой зал. Выберите большой зал, чтобы продолжить. Здесь вы можете видеть точки с летучим пламенем, которые доступны в этом регионе. Точки с летучим пламенем зеленого цвета – это те, которые вам удалось обнаружить, включая гостиную вашего факультета. Точки с летучим пламенем серого цвета показывают местоположение еще не обнаруженного. Точек быстрого перемещения. А, это быстрое перемещение, понятно. Выберите постройку библиотеки, чтобы продолжить. Вот библиотека, да? Уэзли разблокировала для вас точку с летучим пламенем в центральном зале. Смените карту с помощью какой-то R и отправляйтесь в точки летучим пламенем в центральном зале. Используйте D. Переместиться, да. Спасибо большое. Это чтобы мы много не ходили по большому замку, да?
Here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall.
Все, идем.
You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive, our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Что такое Хогсмит?
You mentioned
Ну, мы типа не
Professor.
знаем.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also,
Раньше, блин, нужно
I
было...
imagine, enjoy
В фильме нужно было
butterbeer with
роспись.
friends in due course.
Ну, в фильме, в книге нужно было роспись родителей. А тут она просто отпускает.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become auras. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Hecat in charge of our students' education in that regard.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on
Ну, на
your
заклинание,
first day,
понятно, мы будем учить
and you have
заклинания.
much to learn.
Она там типа сама
Happily,
догадалась.
your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
Подозреваю, что вы не просто искали вещи, и в Хогвартс оконными путями собрались. Ну да.
We did take a bit of a detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and I shouldn't say more.
Exploring ruins? Well, I presume Professor Fig has his reasons for keeping the details to himself for now. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
Вот тоже думаю,
I wouldn't
почему...
say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself.
Почему нельзя было
Might I
выбрать
rely on
более
Professor
безопасный
Fig to
способ?
explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
Да, я надеюсь, смогу купить какого-нибудь питомца.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
Yes, sir. But I didn't tell her anything else about our travels here. I will say, I think she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now.
Хорошо,
We
я
don't
больше
know
не буду.
where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And
Всё,
she
я
may
больше
feel
никому не буду
obliged to
говорить,
share
всё
details
понятно.
with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Да, я только что хотела открыть. Этот значок символизирует основные задания. Ага. Выполняя основные задания, вы продвинетесь по основной истории, откроете новые возможности, заработаете опыт. Понятно. Некоторые задания заблокированы из-за требований по наличию заклинаний или к вашему уровню. В этих случаях для активации задания вам нужно достичь требуемого уровня или уметь использовать необходимые заклинания. Новые заклинания можно изучить, выполняя задачи профессоров или в качестве наград за задание. Понятно. Поехали тогда на этот... На защиту темных искусств, потом на заклинание.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman.
Оливандер,
and a good
он что,
friend.
бессмертный?
I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Да как бы и так видно, куда идти. Это что такое? Что это за значок? Показан он здесь, нет? Теперь вам доступен побочное задание. Подожди. Просто, блин, какой... Не показано на карте. А что это такое? Что это? Кто это? Или это просто значок, что это, например, зал? Ой, киса! Ну как можно кису не погладить? Кошечка, люблю животных, когда в игре их животные делают. Так. Это тоже задание, но я вроде выбрала сначала защита темных искусств, а потом заклинание. Сейчас нас научат заклинанием.
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Так, Левиоса. Левиоса.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger.
Так, сейчас нас научат, как им пользоваться. R2, чтобы использовать заклинание, и...
See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast.
Ага, Левиоса, а потом основное.
Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak opponent, as Master Pruitt so artfully helped me demonstrate earlier. Good. Now, the big well done. Very good. But the best way to practice is by dueling.
Ага, на R2.
Start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Ой, я боюсь пока.
Now, I want a fair duel using only Levioso.
Мне пока страшно, товарищи.
You may begin.
Lucky.
Nothing lucky about it. I know.
Class, I hope you're paying attention. That is how you cast Levioso.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
Он упал со стола.
You give as good as you get.
А, это слизеринец. Они все такие, да.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Hufflepuff.
Thank you, Professor Heckert. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right, that's enough.
Поговорить с Себастьяном. О, это
I'd
кто, что за
hate to face
девушка?
Professor Heckert in a duel.
А, они просто говорят что-нибудь.
Always thought Leviosa was for first years. Not anymore.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice. It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance, if you're interested. Till next time.
Это у нас... Сейчас, секунду, это кто? Важные, да? Ревелио. Протего. Я не помню, как... Ага. Треугольничек просто нажимаешь. Я просто забыла, как Протего пользоваться. Теперь мы можем идти куда? Ура! А у нас тут есть очки какие-нибудь? Снаряжение, таланты. Чтобы разблокировать, достигните прогресса в основной ствол, может потом откроется. Так, идем на этот. Там где-то наверху костер еще один.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Что ты орешь? Сейчас, секунду. Или это наверху? Наверху, еще наверху один. Я куда-то пришла, на другой этот. Ну ладно, хотела костер открыть. Это еще наверх надо, да, подниматься? Так. Может, там как раз откроем? Сейчас, секунду. Вон костер. Все.
Want him to get back to the lesson.
behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to year 5 of charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm?
Да напомни уже, человек, ты вроде Да.
Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Акцо.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that.
Она так гордо посмотрела, такая гордость.
And it is an exceptionally lovely day. I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me.
Будем заклинание творить.
I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right?
Ничего себе! Так можно и дом построить быстренько, одним взмахом. Сейчас научат нас акцо пользоваться.
Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm. Very good. Not to worry. Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them to... Excellent. Good. Don't lose your composure. That's it. Stay focused.
Все, мы молодцы.
Very good. Points to Hufflepuff. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you.
Ага, кто бы, надо быть быстрее, да?
Yes, sir.
Misha.
А, по очереди получается.
How it's done.
Not to worry.
А, надо, не надо, чтобы она упала. Понятно, все, я все поняла, блин. Ну, блин, я только учусь, блин. Я еще... Ну, я переборщила. А можно попробовать заново? Я готова заново попробовать. Давай еще тренироваться. Я...
Let's make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Be sharp. That is how it's done.
Да блин, а!
Don't lose your composure.
Ну, у меня не получается, блин. Либо плохо, либо хорошо, ладно. Да, вот, я сразу же отпустила.
Oh dear.
Она улетела. И что я сделаю-то, блин? Не получается у меня. Вот, она все равно убирается. А что я должна сделать-то, блин? Я сразу же отпускаю эту кнопку, этот шар не останавливается. Я как его должна остановить-то, блин?
Well done.
Ну ладно, не все не получается, да, не получается. Что я сделаю? Мне думаю, может как-нибудь потом получится не на занятиях, а когда столкнемся. Ну что поделаешь, блин, я не поняла.
Well done back there. You took the loss in stride. Didn't want to go too easy on you.
Ну, подавки
Took
тоже
me
неинтересно.
weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
That's good to hear. It's a lot to take in all at once.
To put it lightly, I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Ouagadougou just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Ouagadougou uses one.
You can cast spells without a wand.
Oh, yes. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
Is Ouagadougou much bigger than Hogwarts?
Ouagadougou School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Ouagadougou a castle like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Ouagadougou, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. Ah, I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can use Accio on humans, if you're so inclined.
A word, if you would.
You'd be using it on
Чтобы людей
You wanted
притягивать.
to speak with me, Professor.
You know it
I
won't work
did.
on humans.
I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation.
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? Miss Onai is a talented witch. Take it in stride. One often gains the most from the battles one has lost.
Of
Да.
course, Professor. It was a challenging match.
Miss Onai is always
Причина
a
стараться
fierce
лучше.
competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Скоро уже серия почти к концу подошла. Так, что теперь? На карте, наверное, надо если задание искать, да? Мне обещали же в Хогсмит мне обещали. Так, задание. Что там надо сделать? Выполнено. Завершите основное задание. Награда, внешний вид, снаряжение, легендарная накидка. Завершите основное задание. Я, значит, еще не завершила, да? Еще задания основные. Так, страницы я еще не нашла. Заданий пока нету, да? Вам нужно поговорить в секретном дуэльном клубе. Ну, поехали тогда поговорим.
After my brother learned the summoning charm, it was constant Accio this, Accio that.
Сокращение палочки раунд. Нужно поговорить. А это последнее занятие после урочное занятие. Нет, тогда туда пойдем. Нет.
Cutlery flying everywhere. Quite unsafe, really.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Так. А потом поговорим с этим. Ты чё там стреляешь? Кошечку погладить. Хорошенькая.
What are you up to now?
What
О,
about the room, Professor?
I was
Elf.
thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Oh, excuse, Deke.
Ah, there you are. I trust your first classes went well?
They did, Professor.
I heard as much from Professors Hecat and Ronan.
да,
Seems
он так
Professor
говорит,
Fig
хотя я
taught you quite a
проиграла.
bit during your brief detour near, what was it you said? Some ruins? I'd wager there's a good deal more to your travels here than what you've told me. Isn't there?
Nothing more, Professor.
I see. Like trying to get a sonnet from a streeler. Regardless, you must continue to build upon what you've learned. In that regard, I've asked your professors to help hasten your progress with some extra assignments.
Professor Ronan did mention something about that.
In fact, Professor Ronan will meet you outside momentarily to assign your first one. Now, regarding the trip to Hogsmeade I mentioned earlier, we've arranged to replace the supplies lost on your way here, including seeds, potion recipes, and spellcrafts.
Thank you, Professor.
And Mr. Ollivander will connect you with the perfect wand. You've managed your classes well with a borrowed wand, but you'll find the magic you cast with your own wand to be far superior.
I've never heard of a spellcraft before, Professor. What is it?
A spellcraft is a recipe of sorts used when conjuring objects. I shall explain more about them when you begin working with transfiguration magic.
There's an Ollivander's in Hogsmeade.
There is. Most people are familiar with the shop in Diagon Alley. We're fortunate to have someone like him nearby. Mr. Ollivander is a genuine craftsman and highly skilled wand maker. I would trust no one else to pair me with a wand.
Can you tell me more about the potion shop, Professor?
J. Pippin's Potions stocks a wide array of potions ingredients, although they rarely sell recipes. Professor Sharp asked that they have a couple of particular recipes on hand for you.
Да бы сказали, кто там является нашим деканом.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings.
Декан Слизерина, Гриффиндора, Пуффиндуя, как тебе рада, кто там декан, относись. Пригласите Себастьяна или Неацай Онай, я. Знаете?
I'd like to go with Natty.
Excellent choice. Miss Onai is one of our most talented students.
Натя хорошая.
And she knows the
Yep.
area. She'll
Можно
keep
с ней
you
подружиться,
well clear
стать
of any of
подружками.
Victor Rookwood's undesirables on
Она
the
может
route.
нас научить чему-нибудь.
A rather unsavory local. Best to avoid him and his associates, including his right hand of sorts, Theophilus Harlow, if you can. Once you've finished Professor Ronan's assignment, your friend will meet you at the castle doors. No time to waste. The sooner you complete your work, the sooner you can enjoy a butterbeer at the Three Broomsticks.
Что там за задание новое? Отчитайтесь о задачах, прописанных Ронином. Поговорите с Локоном Шелби. Нет, потом. Я хочу сначала сходить.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel
А я
was
как? А я
before I
смогу
invented
пользоваться,
blue
нет?
powder.
А как пользоваться вот этими? А, как пользоваться? Мне ж научили. Чё я туплю-то? Хогсмит я пока не могу получить, да, научите профессора Ронина использовать репару. Так, а я и хочу к нему попасть, профессор Ронина. Просто, блин, как бы учили, да, но... Я хотела переместиться, но ладно, я пока не понимаю, как этим пользоваться. Все равно уже пора скоро заканчивать. Если мы поговорим с ним и
there you are.
и закончим на сегодня.
You have a new spell to teach me, Professor?
Indeed I do, and an exceedingly useful one at that. The mending charm, Reparo. Fixes
Reparo.
things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
It seems as if that might come in handy.
More frequently than one would imagine. As Professor Weasley mentioned, I am not the only one who will be teaching you spells outside of class in an effort to catch you up with your peers. A number of your professors have agreed to do so as well, but first, each shall ask that you complete a few preliminary tasks to hone your magic. I have arranged some for today. See them through and then report back to me. We will have you casting Reparo in no time.
Why must I first complete tasks to learn Reparo?
No lesson or lecture can compare to first-hand experience, and these tasks should provide you with just that. Such experience is invaluable when mastering any new bit of magic.
I'll start on the task right away, Professor.
Что там надо сделать?
This is the right area. I wonder where the flying page is.
Но а как я должна его выполнить? Заберите парящую страницу рядом с разбитой статуей. Где-то тут парящая страница должна быть. А я слепая, я не вижу. И заберите парящую страницу в башне защиты темных искусств. Ага, подождите-ка. Все равно не вижу. Короче, я не знаю. Какая-то парящая страница должна быть. А, вот она. Я думаю, где она? Думаю, где-то висеть должна она, оказывается. Просто где-то вот находится. Летает она.
Потому
что я еще должна ее найти, где она летает. Все, мы нашли.
I trust the preliminary task.
I completed the assignments, Professor.
Marvelous. You clearly know your way around basic charms. Let us give the old mending charm a try then, shall we? Remember to be deliberate in your enunciation and movements. I want to see some vigor. Now, wand at the ready.
Yes, sir.
Remember, your wand is a conduit of your magic.
Reparo. Reparo. Не догонишь все равно. Вот я не ту кнопку нажала. Я просто привыкла, что все время на X.
That's it. Very good. If you would like to practice mending something, have a go with that broken statue in the alcove by the water. It allegedly symbolizes.
Вот это можно восстановить еще.
Perhaps a jilted lover thought it accurate and lashed out.
Он уже пора заканчивать. Это что за задание? Хогсмит меня отправляют. А, ну ладно, в Хогсмит мы, наверное, пойдем уже в следующей серии. Уже пора заканчивать. Так, сохранить. Нет, не то нажала. Так, сейчас мне теперь надо разобраться, как выходить. Вот, нашла, сохранить. Не буду тут ячейки забивать. Так, все, сохранили. В общем, всем спасибо за просмотр. Комментируйте, ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал, на паблик в ВКонтакте, Телеграме. Ой. Ну да, на паблик в ВКонтакте. Подписывайтесь на Телеграм, на Twitch. Я пока там ничего не выкладываю, у меня времени нету, но я не знаю, но все равно подписывайтесь. Все ссылки в описании, в шапке профиля. Всем хорошего дня, хорошего настроения, всем спасибо, всем пока.